That's right, we are in Chongqing. So if you want to get to the best part, guys, you're gonna have to work for it, you know? You're gonna have to brave the crowds. So this is what it looks like from street level, and see what kind of food they've got up here. So what kind of dining options. So you can see just how crowded it is. It's truly insane. I definitely just found the dude with the coolest strut in all of Chongqing. It's kind of John Travolta-esque. It is beautiful, isn't it? Well, one thing about this way is you do get some pretty good views at the end. But it really does taste great. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another video. Now this is the second chapter in my Chongqing adventure, and I'm here at another spot that's common amongst tourists, you know, international and domestic tourists. This is called Jiefangbei Pedestrian Street. Now if you watch my travel videos, you will know that regardless of what city I go to in China, I always go to the pedestrian street just because it's a great place to people watch. There's plenty of food options. It's a great place to meet people. And there are usually pretty good vibes at any pedestrian street in China. I mean, you can see this, you've got people out taking pictures, they're doing shopping, eating. I won't be spending too much time here, but I definitely wanted to check it out while I'm here. A lot of people posing for photo ops next to this tower. So if you were here traveling and you didn't know what to do, this would be a great place to come, you know, maybe get started. And in the daytime, it's still gonna be, you know, pretty happening here. But when this place really comes to life is at night. Everything lights up, and I've read people comparing it to like Times Square or something like that, and it will really light up. But yeah, apparently in this one little area right here, they've got like over 3,000 shops of all types. One thing I will say that kind of differentiates this pedestrian area from a lot of others in China is that this is it's more of a wide open area, kind of like a square, whereas a lot of pedestrian streets in China are just that. It's a pedestrian street. This is like several streets and some big wide open areas, all kind of connected. Okay, now here's a place that they're advertising as basically Food City. And I'll tell you, I love food from this region. I love Sichuan cuisine, but I'll be honest, I've had a hard time finding anything besides noodle shops and hot pots. Which of course is not a bad thing, but it's a little bit overkill, I think, because I walked around a long time yesterday. I've been walking around a little while today, and I've only seen hot pot and noodle shops. But I think this place might have some different options as well. Well, I take that back. Never mind. The only food, I mean, they've got dumpling places and stuff, but I want to have local cuisine. They do have some Sichuan food over here, but it's just like, it's been sitting there. It's not what I'm looking for. I want more fresh, authentic experience. So yeah, this place was we took a swing and we had a big miss. Well, I took a taxi to try to go to a restaurant called REAL Chongqing and get some local food. Well, the one he took me to was under construction, so they were closed. So he suggested I come here. I was here last night, Raffles City. Just on the other side of this is where the Jialing River meets the Yangtze River. It's kind of funny, I was in the taxi. The taxi driver was a really nice guy, I could tell. He was a gentle-natured kind of guy. He was nice, and we were chatting, and he was kind of surprised that I could speak to him so easily in Chinese. And one of the questions he asked me where I'm from. I said I'm from America. And he asked me, he said, "Do you like your country?" I've been asked that quite a few times, especially more and more these days. That didn't used to be a question years ago in China. They didn't really ask you, do you like your country? I mean, imagine that, bumping into a Chinese person in the States, and you know, in the first 2 minutes of conversation, you know, where are you from? China? Oh, do you like your country? It's just one of those things. If somebody's being kind of rude and has an attitude problem and asks me that, I'll be kind of a smart ass when I answer it. But this guy was being nice. He didn't mean anything by it. Okay, well, I'm in a unique situation because I'm in Chongqing right now. I tried to go to a restaurant that specializes in local foods. They were closed. So then I was brought here. I agreed. Come to the first floor, he says. They've got all types of foods. Well, here's a Hong Kong style restaurant, Cantonese restaurant. I saw a KFC over there. But you know, the one thing, I don't know what's going on here, but it seems surprisingly hard to find any Sichuan or Chongqing dishes that are anything besides some kind of noodles like Chongqing xiaomian or hot pot. I've spent literally now like probably 2 hours between last night and today searching, haven't found it. I mean, if somebody had told me before coming here, you're gonna go to Chongqing but not be able to find any local food besides hot pot noodles, I just wouldn't be able to believe them. You know, it sounds absurd, but I'll tell you what, maybe I spoke too soon, because I did just find a food court. It looked promising down there, but turns out it was a bust. I mean, they've got plenty of good foods and stuff, but they didn't have a place where I could just sit down and look at some different local foods. So finally found the kind of place I was looking for. Just a normal little restaurant that has a variety of dishes. A little mom and pop's place. So I ordered something that everybody's heard of. It's kind of almost a cliche dish at this point. In the West, we call it kung pao chicken, but that dish originally comes from here. So we're gonna try the authentic one here. So you can go to your local Chinese carryout place and all of them are gonna have kung pao chicken. Well, the thing about that dish is that it originated from this region of China. And so I like it. It's one of those dishes that's really hit and miss. Sometimes it's so good, sometimes it's actually not good at all. But I did want to try it here at the source. There are bits of chicken in there, cucumber, peanut, Chinese leek. I'll tell you, this is pretty good. Here we are on the subway here in Chongqing, and you can see the rush. Everybody wants to get a seat. If you look at the name of this park in English, it's going to be kind of hard to pronounce. E-L-I-N-G. You might say something like Iling or Elling, but it's called Erling Park, and that means literally like Goose Ridge Park. That's where we are now. One thing I've noticed about the Chongqingese, or the people of Chongqing, fans are a big thing here, and understandably so, because it's so hot. I think the restaurant issue I was having earlier was just specific to the area that I was in, because now I'm over here by the park and I've passed a whole slew of restaurants that all have all kinds of different foods. Well, after my terrible sleep last night, I needed a quick pick-me-up, so decided a war horse would be the right one for the job. And we are just entering the park right here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Goose Ridge Park. I'll tell you, this war horse is really hitting the spot. It's basically just their version of like a Monster or a Red Bull or something like that. But look, here we go. Nice little pond, some goldfish out there. Well, you might not see any real geese at Goose Ridge, but at least you'll see these. All right, here it is. The jewel of Erling Park. Well, I don't have one of those step counters, but I'm definitely getting my steps in for today. Got them in yesterday too. All right, it's official. I have conquered the Goose Ridge Pagoda. Give you guys a good 360-degree view of Chongqing. You can really see that this is the river and mountain city from up here. And now I'm back over here to my neck of the woods. It's time for a nap. I've got to recharge the battery a little bit. Like I said, I didn't really sleep much last night. It's hotter than hell out here. So this was Act 1 for today. Gonna rest for a bit, but we've still got Act 2 coming up and a lot more good times ahead. It's not a bad view just from the subway. We're here on line number 2, just cruising along, and you can catch a pretty killer view. Now obviously, like I said, we are getting some amazing scenery from this subway ride, but there's another reason why I'm taking this subway, and you're gonna find out really, really soon. And for some of you all, especially if you have watched videos about Chongqing before, you might see something that you recognize. Let's just put it that way. So this is the station that you always see where the train goes through the building, Liziba. And when you come out, I mean, you usually see it from the outside, but you don't usually see what it looks like on the inside. So this is it. Looks pretty normal. You wouldn't really feel that you're running through the middle of a building or something like that. You come over, you can catch a pretty good view. And of course, you've got all the spectators down on the ground level. You're gonna have tons of people getting their photo ops and stuff like that. So we just, hello. We just came down from there, and when we come down into this area, kind of see what it looks like. Well, they've really got this place set up to maximize business, because in order to leave the building to get out here to the, you know, the photo op area, you've got to go through this shopping area. And one thing that was kind of surprising, you know, since I don't live here, I don't have like a train pass that I can just scan. I have to, you know, pay the money, and it gives me a little card, and then I insert the card when I arrive at the station, and it keeps the card, lets me out. But when I got here, I put the card in, and it kept the card, but it didn't let me out. And the girl that was working here was kind of trying to act like I made a mistake, and I said, did you hear what I said? I put the card in and it didn't open. And she went, oh. And I said, so is this machine broken or what? And she went, yeah. It's kind of surprised, a pretty poor attitude from her. Also, I will add that while this train station is quite unique, it's definitely an interesting aesthetic. It's not very practical, because in order for me to get out of this building and get down here to the ground level, I had to go down several flights of stairs because we were pretty high up. So to use this station, whether you're arriving here or departing from here, it's not all that convenient getting up to the area where you actually board the train. I see a lot of people here, ground level, getting their pictures, and of course, I'm one of them. Here comes the train. So we're starting from outside. You start from the ground level, you come in, and then you've got to see that, I want you guys to see the process. Hello. I want y'all to see the process of what it's like, because it's kind of a journey going from ground level all the way up to where the train is. Not the most convenient thing that I've ever seen. Here we are, we went up one floor, now we're going up another. So if you're in a hurry, you might be SOL. And here we go again, going up to the third floor. We're going up to the fourth floor. Now we're going up to the fifth floor. You see, I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's, you know, it's kind of tedious. And here we go again. Heading up to the sixth floor. And then once you're up here on the sixth floor, you can see there's line 2. So you just come in here, swing over, get your ticket, get it from these machines. A lot of cities in China tend to have one pedestrian street. Well, guess what? Chongqing has at least 2 big ones. Earlier you saw one of the big ones, and that was called Jiefangbei. Now this is the other pedestrian street here in Chongqing, and this is called Guanyanqiao pedestrian street. And from what I've kind of gathered online, it seems like there's sort of a thought amongst the locals that this is the pedestrian street where the locals come and the other one, Jiefangbei, is where a lot of, basically where the tourists go. So I wanted to check out both of the pedestrian streets and see what the difference is, see what the different vibes are, and see which one I personally prefer. Here we are coming to a food street. So as soon as you walk in, I mean, you can see there's plenty to eat. It's just finding that right thing, you know? All right, guys, we're back here at Jiefangbei. This is where the day started. This is where today's video started, right here. And at night, you can see it looks totally different. The atmosphere really comes out. More people are out. So the final verdict, I think I'm gonna have to go with the locals on this one. I enjoyed the atmosphere over at Guanyin better than here. All right, finally we're getting real legit Chongqing hot pot. All right, guys, I got everything. The hot pot's rolling. I know this is crazy for one person, right? But they don't have a small pot. You gotta get a big one. So here we've got some basically like shrimp paste. Got some beef over there, some sausage back there. Here we've got some blood, I forgot which animal that's from. Tofu, some seaweed back here, potato, and then last but not least, cow stomach and duck intestines. So I'm gonna dig in and got a Chongqing beer here for you guys. I wanna give a toast to everybody who's been enjoying the videos, sticking with me, supporting my work, and just hanging out. I'm really glad to have you guys here, so I want to give all you guys a big cheers. Good morning, guys. We're still here in Chongqing, but we're about to head to a different place. If you want to know where that is, you're gonna have to subscribe to the channel to see where I end up next. But one thing I'm running short of right now is time, so I gotta make some quick moves, get to the station, otherwise it's gonna be close. But I think if I hurry, I can make it. Jiefangbei railway station. This is basically a Chongqing West station because it's in the western part of Chongqing. You've got a high-speed railway out here. Okay, here it is. Jiefangbei station. Nice weather today. Whew. And I'm starting to sweat. This is a smallish kind of train station by Chinese standards. This is like just like a little, kind of like a small rural branch is about what this looks like, because a lot of train stations in China, especially ones with the high-speed railway, are absolutely massive. Damn, this was close, guys. I'm very glad that I made it. It was, let's just put it this way. If I was 2 or 3 minutes later, I wouldn't be making this train. And I came here by subway, so just kind of up in the air. And luckily I made it. And the whole reason that I'm running behind schedule, kind of embarrassed, I don't even really want to tell you guys, but as you know, Chongqing food is very spicy, right? Well, I treated myself to a Chongqing hot pot last night, which was very spicy, and as a result this morning, my stomach was just a little bit off. So I prepared to go early, but I just couldn't get out of the damn bathroom. Was it the mountains, all the sunshine, the chilies, or the beer? Something's going on way down here. Was it the rivers, or your brown eyes, or the way you smiled at me? Well, too bad there ain't enough time to see. 'Cause there's a train about to leave this town. Final call, then we're down the tracks. But what if I just turned around and came running back? Ain't it funny when you think about life?